hooligans up here. You're gonna take this pussy nigga out. Yo, Dot, I got you.
Oh, ballin' at what cost? Can't stop, won't stop. I just fucked your bitch in a Shanghai tank top. Treat a bad bitch like she average. I treat a bad bitch like a fat bitch. You get money again on my Cat Williams, then to get funny again. Yeah, you see they try to count me out. I like that. We just hit a #1. We right back. About 500 down the top. Titanium grills, call it smiling rocks. I done had everything you were able to got. I invented drill too. I ain't lying, it was chopped. Another one, #1. Then it's 2 and 3. Vultures on repeat. Still feel like Pablo, drug dealer sheep. Police send the drones, hit like Metro Beats. Where's Lucien? Serve your master. You caught a little bag for your masters, didn't ya? Lifetime deal, I feel bad for. You're so out of smile. Think of a Drake line. Play J. Cole, get the pussy dry. Play that shit back 130 times. Young dope doing something dope. Is you like that? Kicking doors, kicking in doors. Is you like that? Young flows, is you like that? All 24, you won't go. Is you like that? From the bottom, really like that. Ballin' at what cost, really like that. Week 17, yeah, we like that. Ballin' at what cost? Ballin' at what cost? Here we go. Philly, taking off to the moon, got Sinead on my feet. Bang without my goon shit. G6 and shrooms, we take those through the week. I can barely talk, I got Molly in my body. You don't have to say nothing if you get money in your hobby. Made out the struggle, my hustle, I got it. Came out the mud, ain't no dirt on my Prada. Young does, selling dope, is you like that? Kicking doors, kicking in doors, is you like that? Young does, selling blows, is you like that? All 24, you won't go, is you like that? Ballin' on the cost, if you like that. Ballin' on what cost, if you like that. Week 17, if you like that. Yeah, we really made it, if you like that. Wow. Yeah, is in the building. Ballin' at what cost? Week 17. Here we go, baby. Everything is up. We up. A lot of things are up. And with that said, I'm Alexi Pukanikin, and we're balling today, tomorrow, and most definitely at what cost. And I said, we up. Everything's up. You know what? In breaking news, violence is up. In the best way possible. In the best way possible. So last week I was talking to you guys about UFC 300 like it was no big deal. Like it doesn't even matter. Like it was just like UFC 300, whatever. Like it was mind-blowing experience, but like we moved past it. And we get to this point and I'm just like, okay, UFC, MMA, we could take a breather on that. Everything's, like we're still trying to infuse the memories and the experiences into us. We're trying to take it all and we're still trying to digest every single ripple effect out of it. But then, bam, we jump over to the other violence. We go from mixed martial arts violence where there's kicking, elbows, and then all this. And then we go to the world of boxing violence, which, is the first one at least to be televised and, made it big. That was the first combat sport in the modern. It's boxing. I know wrestling probably in like fucking Greek days or whatever, but we're not going to go too far into history. Boxing used to be one beautiful sports form that was very indicative of an art form as well, but it has slowly died down. But then we still have every now and then we still have these names, and there's been only a few names that have been helping the professional boxing scene the recent years. For me, the big names is Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder was in there, Lomachenko was in there in terms of names, Triple G, Canelo. Canelo is always active. I think he still fights like 2 to 3 times a year. Easy paycheck every time. He, I don't think he's slowing down for another 5 years at least. He's just a beast. Floyd, every now and then, but at this point, it's just mostly exhibition, so we mostly disregard it, even though he is like a professional. But in terms of just competitive professionals right now that you would say that are in your peak, you can only name a few names. And in the lighter divisions, in terms of from America or from the Americas, the two big names right now is also Ryan Garcia, King Ryan. He has been on the map, killing it on social media since 2016, since he made his debut. I'm sure he already had quite a following when he was an amateur, but he is just high level, and he's always understood that he's got to be under the limelight. He's got to make himself known, more of a celebrity than a fighter, or equally the same. And that's one handsome, entertaining kid, right? We've had that before. Oscar De La Hoya, right? The freaking the golden boy. Now he's the freaking manager after all these years, still running Golden Boy Productions and the promotion. And they promoted King Ryan, and King Ryan, Mexican, Latino, American. That's, handsome, young, 25-year-old, and then has a specific style of boxing, and he could just piece a guy up. He's one of those, he's like real fast with it. He just bam, 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 peppers you up a little bit, bam, 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 gets you nice and tender, and then boom, slips one in there, and then it's done. And that one that he slips in there is so lightning fast that you won't even see it coming. Just bam. And there's a actual level of skill and technique that is undeniable. Whatever he's like a celebrity. He's on social media making silly videos, right, where he's like geeking around and he's like with celebrities at these events or whatever he's doing, promoting whatever, just doing whatever. Most of his day, most likely, is him just in front of a punching bag going like ba 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 ba, and that's it. Like that's what his life actually consists of. But he's just smart enough to throw a little bit. He's silly. These boxers, they're silly. You think it's normal. You think you're a normal person if you want to be in front of a punching bag for 10 hours a day. It's not a normal life to live, guys. So he's Ryan Garcia is officially the new unlocked character of Mexican fighters, because there's always been a history of Mexican fighters that are absolute goats, right? I'm forgetting their freaking names right now. I know Oscar De La Hoya is just the one that comes in mind because of this. But who's the fucking other guy? The guy that was pretty much the GOAT as well. I'm forgetting right now. But the thing with Mexican fighters or Mexican boxers is they always have their specific style. They always have the similar attributes of, they can actually, take a couple punches and they don't really back down ever. But in terms of just killer instinct too, that the Mexican fighters all possessed, King Ryan is one of those guys that when he gets into the ring, he turns that mode on and it's just game over. It really is. I'm getting caught up right now because I really want to mention this guy's name, and he's an absolute legend. And I just dropped my phone as well. It's all going downhill from here. Sorry, production is absolutely horrendous today. But Ryan Garcia, he's pretty much adapted his style with his aura. So his aura is that he's a little bit like ADHD, he's a little bit like silly, like like tweaky, like and like for everyone who's joking around the fact that he has CTE or not, listen, ladies and gentlemen, this guy definitely has CTE. He's been getting punched and punching people and vice versa since a little kid, and that's the only way you're going to be able to train. The only way you're going to be able to train to dodge those punches is to be first punched, and then you're like, okay, maybe I won't get punched again, maybe, just maybe. So at this point, 25 years old, yeah, if you've been training, yeah, you're going to be a little bit like, you're gonna, a little bit. A little bit. Like that's it. It's okay. And that's okay. Guys, that's okay. And especially when, think about it, he's under the limelight. He's still, he sticks true to himself. He's like, still tweaking a little bit. And it's fine. And he uses that with the style he fights. I honestly think so. I feel like the way he fights sometimes is he'll throw like a combo. Right, just because of like instinct, right? Like he has like a go-to amount of combos that are like relatively short. Let's just say max like 3 to 4, right? But then it's just like, because he's like tweaking, he has that ADHD kind of like energy about him, a little bit like, So it's just like, then he throws it, and then it's like almost like spastic. He decides to continue the combo. It's not even that he lands it or it's like successful or he thinks he's like put himself in a better position to continue the combo. I think he just throws the first combo, like the short combo, the opening combo, just goes like pam, 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 pam. And then like Devin Haney, let's just say in this case, Devin Haney, I'll get to him, but Devin Haney, he's just like, defended it. Maybe he just like, 20% of that power got connected through. And then he's just like still chilling. And then Devin Haney is like just about to maybe think of like attacking. And then Ryan Garcia has that moment of just like, yeah, but I'm famous, right? Like I could just do whatever I want, right? Like because I'm famous, right? And it doesn't matter. So fucks him up. Dude, that left hook. Okay, guys, like I've gone to one beginner's boxing course, right? The left is like you first gotta like do a little bit of a tweak one way so you can leverage the hook, right? From like, because it's like a this. People think it ain't like okay, maybe like a really long one. Maybe honestly Ryan Garcia has it so crisp that he can like have a crisp like left hook that reaches all the way out. But typically it's like bam, you're just trying to ding, and he just does that so fast that it's like faster than a blink of an eye, and it just doosh, and it just like, if he does it enough where he first lands 20%, then he lands 40% of that hook, then he lands 60. He can land maybe like a 75 one, and then you're out. If he just continues to pop that pop that motherfucker, he like, think about all the millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of views he's garnered throughout his professional career. That started in 2016. Since 2016, think about it, every single social media video or Instagram story or something, it's just him going like on punching bags or by himself in the air, shadow boxing. I've seen that video. It's 24. I've seen that video 8 years straight now. Like that's all I've been seeing. And that's just how it is, man. He has a spastic style that's effective and strong. What's the thing with spastic? Even if a motherfucker gets epilepsy fucking attack, what happens? It's like they're so stiff, but like that stiffness is so strong, you know? Like that's what I'm saying. That left hook, it's like spastic. It's like a it's like as powerful and strong and stiff like a fucking oh jeez. Oh my god. But anyways, in the press conference too, he was always just like repeating like you know, for example, he was always just repeating like, "Thank you, Jesus. Thank 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 you, Jesus." And then I'm just thinking like, that's not even. People think that's like him being retarded or some shit like that, or maybe he's just like that religious, so he has to do some crazy shit like that. But I think it's him externalizing what he physically did before he got there, which was probably working out. Like he hit some kind of workout, right? So he hit some kind of punching bags, and I bet his opening drill is he just lays out like half a gram of the best Colombian white cocaína ever, and he just lays it out right there next to his water bottle and next to his towel, right? And he just stands in front of the punching bag and he just goes first 1 hour left hook, and he gets maybe like, let's just say 4 lines. He lays out 4 lines for the first hour, and it's just this just left hook, left hook, left hook, and then every 15 minutes does a line of coke, right? Left hook, and for another 15 minutes straight, and then one more left, a little water, and then 1 hour is done. Another 4 lines of coke. Now right hook. Then he goes. The same thing. Bam, bam. Another hour. Right hook. Right hook. Right hook. Line. Right hook. Right hook. Line. Right hook. Right hook. Water. Water. Yeah. And then at the point that he's gone to the press conference, that's what he's just trying to externalize. He's like, "Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus." That's like Jesus right there. Every time he's throwing that left hook on the punching bag, he's going like, "Jesus, Jesus, Jesus." Like, this is the power of Jesus right here. Because I bet he's thinking that. So then when he's on the press conference, he's go like, "Thank you, Jesus." Thank you. Because he just needs that left hook. If he believe in that left hook, then God got him. Jesus got him, you know? So let's talk about the opponent. Why was this such a big fucking dealio, all right? Devin Haney going into this was 31-0, the fucking super light heavyweight championship of the fucking world, and had defeated Lomachenko last year. And Vasyl Lomachenko is a fucking crazy skillful boxer. People consider him one of the most technically precise fucking fighters like to have ever lived, or whatever the fuck. He has 15 KOs. Devin Haney actually has the reach advantage, right? He doesn't have the height, he doesn't have the weight, but he has the reach advantage, right? 31-0, 15 KOs, and you're like, people say Ryan Garcia is more of like a motherfucking like he's more, it's more intricate, the opponents he's matched up with. Devin Haney, 31-0. He's number one. He's number one, and he's beat some monsters, right? What about Ryan Garcia? You could say that, okay, maybe he's not, like, and then he got, like, as soon as he get put against Gervonta Davis, Tank Davis, then he got pieced up, right? Like, real bad, and he took a lot of damage for that. So, I'm saying, if Garcia can piece that guy up, you give Garcia the rest of his 20s, like, so he's 25 now, to 25 to 30. You give him matchups where where the danger isn't too big, where he's obviously going to take too much damage, okay? Because, guys, we're walking on eggshells right now. It's already, because even if he's acting and he's actually normal, we're just saying, like, it's still a nice lifestyle to live, and it's not like this kid is sober. You know, he does love Jesus, but he ain't sober. He's fucking drinking for Jesus. That's what I'm telling you. So if he can just, he calms down, matures a little bit, gets good matchups, doesn't take that much damage, doesn't explore too much above his weight class, more just below. Like I said, he can be multiple weight class champion, okay? And you can build him up to be one of the biggest. I think he could hit his prime like 29, 30, 31 years old, where he's still like, now he's like a man now, and then, maybe he's got like a second baby mama or something. The kid's a little older. He brings the kid around to the press conferences and training. I don't know, right? This is just, I'm thinking the marketing, right? You got to think 3 steps forward for the kid. So, dude, he's a legend. I'm convinced now. King Ryan, after that showing during the weekend, and violence is up. Everybody likes this. I bet a bunch of MMA people really like this boxing match because it felt a little bit more real than like even these bigger ones with Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. It feels too much of a show almost. This, even though it was a show, it still felt like a very real boxing match, right? And I gotta say, boxing atmosphere, like the boxing like ring atmosphere around it on like main event, it is like electrifying. As good, if not better, than MMA, just because it has that history of fans, and it's just beautiful, guys. So big shout out to the boxing world. I think the boxing world took a huge dub after last weekend. It was very fucking exciting. And like I said, breaking news, violence is up in the best way possible. Not that I condone violence. You get it? That's the whole fucking sarcasm. You fucking feds and shit. I know the feds are watching. Jesus Christ, I'm saying in that way, that like the entertainment, combat sports. God damn it, don't get me. See, there, I had to externalize a little negativity here because, ladies and gentlemen, again, I feel like an old man already, but that's already pretty obvious, even as a 23-year-old. The weather's fucking horrendous, and it's been gray for about fucking over half a year. And I'm okay with it not being this way anymore. And still, nope. It's still fucking gray outside. I'm fucking like, I think I'm going to have a vitamin D supplement overdose at this point. Like, it's absolutely horrendous. But we move on to more positive and brighter things. Because after the weekend, we had, in my opinion, one of the more exciting Grand Prix weekends in Formula One so far in this season. And we're only making our way to 1/4 through the season. We're a quarter through the season after next round. But we officially have the first weekend that was a sprint weekend. And then after that, after the weekend, after everything happened, it was the first weekend where the main race, didn't end in a 1-2. First time. It happened in round 5. Are you freaking kidding me? Finally. But I called it last week. What do you know? I'm a genius. But so it was indeed the first sprint weekend of the season on a track that Formula One hasn't been at for 5 years. So it was definitely like just a chaotic basis to the weekend. And then you throw in the fact that some drivers haven't ever even driven there in a Formula One car, and then all that, and then you get there and then the weather starts messing with you. There's rain, there's grass going on fire even after it just rained. Like, before I get into the race or anything, like there was, like it rained and then the grass went on fire. The explanation, the cause of it, easy. The evidence is there. Tires, they're going at really fast speeds. They're really hot. The cement is hot. The surface is hot. They're going again on like curbs and stuff. There's a lot of sparks flying from the carbon fiber and shit, and just touching everything, just making contact. Sparks fly onto the grass. Okay, that makes sense, right? But it just rained. The grass is wet. The grass is wet. So how am I? What? Look, I ain't gonna say nothing further. But if I'm a tinfoil hat type of guy, that's where I gotta come in. What's going on there? Okay. Otherwise, everything else was good. Everything else was good. The track, I freaking love it, especially when a little bit of rain, you threw in the rain. So Friday starts off like being the most exhilarating, like just absolutely exhilarating. Zhou GuanYu at home in Shanghai, both make it into Q3. Joe, fuck. He did it at home, dude. Zhou GuanYu actually did it at home and makes it into Q3. I know it's sprint quali. I don't give a damn. He makes it into Q3, and then on cherry on top of that cake, so does Valtteri Bottas. Actually, even better. Both Kick Sauber make it into Q3. And then Saturday sprint, we move on after Friday, the practice one, sprint quali. Then Saturday, sprint happens. Zhou GuanYu, unfortunately, 1 point away from scoring points. And I'm going to mention this. George Russell was the one that ended up scoring points. And this is after, let me read to you the people that finished above George Russell, okay? Can I just... So Zhou GuanYu finished P9, right? Which is, in the sprint, it's only P1 to P8 get points, right? So he was one position away. George Russell finished P8. He scores 1 point, right? Who's above George Russell? Both McLarens, both Ferraris, Red Bull, Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time champion GOAT, and Max Verstappen. So in the sprint, Zhou GuanYu pretty much just showed that fuck all of you top teams. Or out of the lower tier teams, or like the midfield lower, I'ma show these guys. And he showed up. And I want like at home, guys, in a car that has obviously been not so bueno, in a team that's had a lot of struggles. And then we go into qualifying. This is when I'm going to go into another little details, but Ferrari and Mercedes are both struggling when they've been still consistent-ish. Ferrari, they do at least in qualifying, right? Like at least on Saturday, they do decent. They struggle. They are struggling for pace and to put a good lap together. Alonso, on the other hand, P3, right? Of course, P1, 2, Red Bull, we can forget about that. But then McLaren, 4, 5. So what I predicted for last race, which was Japan, is kind of came back alive now in the Chinese Grand Prix. And Bottas, Q3, official Q3 as well, actually P10. So that was actually very beautiful. Valtteri Bottas showed that he had actual pace this weekend for the first time, arguably, this season. And Lewis Hamilton, P18, the GOAT, after doing pretty darn decent during sprint quali and sprint, he was struggling for the actual quali. he scores a P18. So that mixes up everything, right? So then you go into Sunday, and after everything that goes down, there's safety car. Lance Stroll cannot brake, does not know how to brake. Daniel Ricciardo gets back-ended. Everybody, Kevin Magnussen gets caught up with Yuki Tsunoda. Everything goes down, and Valtteri Bottas, even though he showed pace for the first time consistently throughout the weekend, fucking engine blows up. Like, are you freaking kidding me? But after all that, no 1-2 like I predicted, and it was Lando Norris P2, Verstappen P1, Perez P3. So even though still two of the same constructors on the podium, not a 1-2. First time this season, guys. Keep that in mind. So around 5, it was the first time, no 1-2. Let's see how many more 1-2s there will be for the rest of the season, or races without a 1-2. All right. And going into round 6, the way the Drivers' Championship is looking, guys, I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, there's a little hope, guys. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, guys, it's looking like it's looking kind of good, you know? There's nothing to really stress about, really. There's Max Verstappen, 110 points. 110. All right, whatever. Right, whatever. Sergio Perez, 85 points. So he's 25 points behind Max Verstappen, which is 25 points is what you get for a win. And think about this. What if Max Verstappen just... Oh, no. Wait. Where's the result? Give me that. Yeah, so what if Max Verstappen just DNFs in Miami? What if? God forbid. What if? I'm not this no. This is no curse. This is no juju. This is no, I'm not jinxing it, nothing. What if Sergio Perez, who is currently sitting at, let's see, what is this guy sitting at? He's sitting at 85, right? He's 25 points behind. What if he DNFs? Because Charles Leclerc is only 9 points behind him in P3 in the championship, and Carlos Sainz is currently 7 points behind Charles Leclerc, which would make that fucking, I'm so good at math because I'm a chink, 16 points. So imagine if Sergio Perez with DNF and Sainz gets like a P2. I'm saying up until Lando Norris in P5, who's sitting at 58 points, things are open going into round 6. Things are open going into the exact 1/4 of the 2024 Formula 1 season. Oscar Piastri, unfortunately, he's been struggling so much. He's been fighting like down there. It's so tight that you make one mistake, the margins, they're not there. They're not there for your favor. He's sitting at 38 behind Lando Norris, so 20 points behind his teammate. So I'm saying the top 5 still got a chance of brawling it out. Charles Leclerc, I got to tip it to him. He was really on point, at least on top of the point, more than Carlos Sainz. They were mostly struggling a little bit more, just both of them, the Ferraris, than they were used to. But Charles Leclerc was a little bit more on pace than Carlos Sainz was you got to tip the hat. Always got to respect it, but it's wide open. We're one Red Bull DNF away to extending the drivers' championship like battle to like over halfway through the season. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this could end halfway through the season pretty much already. However, if we get one Red Bull DNF, it would just make everything much more interesting to the last, to like at least to like over halfway through the season. That's what I'm trying to get at. So it's very exciting. Miami, I have my opinions about Miami. Let's just see how it goes down. Maybe a safety car, maybe something. I don't know. But that's in 2 weeks. They got to fly across the world. They're going to take a little bit of time getting there. And that's really the Formula One world. And honestly, as a Chinaman, it was beautiful to see that much entertainment during a Formula One weekend in Shanghai, first time in 5 years. And it looks so retro. The track, in my opinion, is so sick. That turn one is cool as a motherfucker to look at when they just swing around full speed. And yeah, what's going down this week? I don't know. NBA playoffs. No big deal. Because let's be honest here, like, I'm not too big of a basketball buff, but I like to follow it. The East, what do they even have? Like, realistically, I'm looking at this thing. They're gonna go throughout this week, and then by the weekend we have the Miami Grand Prix. It's gonna be the last games, if it goes to that, of the round one of the playoffs. And it's just, in my personal opinion, it's just so clear that this year is like the winner of the West is gonna win this whole darn thing, because the West is like, they're a bunch of killers, but the East, there's like one or two killers, and that's it. It's just individual serial killers. You have the West, they're like, they're mob, they're freaking, they're straight up, not even mob, they're goddamn military, of killers. But East, you got the Celtics. The Celtics, you got them for sure. Like, Jason Tatum dropped 19 points last night against the Heat, and they still won. Like it was nothing. Porzingis was helping out, doing his own thing, and it was that easy. And so I know Celtics definitely have potential if they're not even playing that round one 100% like that, and they're still beating the Heat like easily. Yeah, all right, Celtics, all right, but that's it. Bucks, maybe, like maybe Giannis could do something with Dame time, maybe. But if it doesn't work out, and I don't know, maybe Knicks. I don't know. They have I know they play the game really well. Like, the game, it's very technical. They got good strategies and shit. They play good game. But that's it. I think Celtics is like realistically like the only like monsters coming out of the East. And then what do we have in the West? Okay, so last night there was Mavs versus Clippers, this is going to be, I think, the most entertaining series other than the Suns and Timberwolves series. I think these are going to be the two most entertaining series during the round one of the playoffs. Mavs, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving going against like James Harden, Paul George. Kawhi was sitting out last night. I forget. They made up a bullshit reason. But then you have Phoenix Suns, where you have Durant and Book. And then they are going against Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert. Right? And then OKC. Oh, don't even get me started with OKC. Chet Holmgren. Shai Alexander. You know, just killers. Like, I'm saying it so calmly, like it's fine. And the Nuggets. They got the Jokic, Jamal Murray. How are one of these gentlemen not supposed to win a chip? Are you freaking kidding me? Most likely it's going to be Denver Nuggets. Let's just be honest. Jokic is on, like, the game that they play is like 10 years, like a decade beyond anyone's defenses. But that's what I'm saying. There's a chance. Like, I'm personally, you know who's going to win it all. You know who's going to win it all. I'll say right here after a couple nights of the playoffs. It's going to be Luka Doncic, Luka Magic, Mavs. They're going to make it all the way. That's it. I know they took a L already against the Clippers, but that was just a fluke. They were playing in Clippers. They were playing in LA. So it's going to be fuck. Dude, I'm rooting for everyone almost pretty much in the West too. Like, I don't really fuck with anybody that hard in the East. I know I have a Celtics jersey, but that's Larry Bird. But like, I know, like, Jason Tatum is like the only guy I really fuck with, like, heavy. Maybe from the East. Dame time. But that's just because he ended up there and he just wants a good shot at the championship, and look where you are now. And then Knicks, because it's New York. I feel like they deserve it. But Mavs, what? Luka Magic, James Harden, fuck Kevin Durant, Book, Anthony Edwards, Chet Holmgren, Shai Alexander, Denver Nuggets, Jokic. Are you like these guys? I don't know. I don't know where it's gonna go, guys. I have no idea. It's a very good time. I'm voting for the Luka Magic. It's happening this year. I think they got great chemistry with Kyrie Irving. But if they don't, any one of that gentlemen out of the West, they deserve it too. And it would be great just to see Jokic get that back-to-back like a motherfucking savage. So that's Ballin' at What Cost, Week 17. We're going to keep it alive. We're going to keep it running. It never stops. It won't stop. Violence is up. Everything is up. We like that. Can't stop. Won't stop. I'll see you guys next week.